thank you so much for stopping back into another RAMS House video. Today I'm going to be jumping into a topic that I kind of already did a lot in previous videos on like RAMS new uniforms, when they're going to release them, and what they are going to look like. But I kind of thought it would be interesting if I had you guys involved on this. Not sure if many people are going to come in because it was just kind of a short notice stream, but I'm going to be going into what I think they're going to look like and when they're going to release them, because it's kind of a big question on people's minds right now, considering those uniforms. So it's going to be an interesting stream if people come in and shuffle in, because again, usually I like to schedule my stream so that a lot of you guys know when to come in. But I think it would be really interesting to have your guys' takes on these uniforms, because I've done polls, I've done videos and stuff like that. It's cool to interact with you guys and see what you think on these uniforms and what they could look like and stuff like that. But I thought it would be really cool just to be doing a live one, so you guys can give your feedback and your opinion on when you think that they're going to release, when that, or what you think they're going to be looking like as far as the color scheme. And it could be completely off the map. I could take anything. I think it would just be interesting to see your guys' takes live, because like I said, all my other uniform videos have always been pre-recorded and you guys have watched it, you've given your feedback in the comments, and you've participated in the polls and everything like that. But I think it's an interesting thing to dive into this topic, because every time I feel like I'm looking at like a Twitter thing or an Instagram thing, usually on Twitter for the Rams ones, whatever the Rams post, it always seems to think that in the comments people always just screenshot the picture of the uniforms and put it in. And it seems like that's what people are always curious about, when they're going to release them, what they're going to look like, and people just kind of seem fired up. So I want to get your guys' takes on what you think it's going to be. This is going to be a really interactive stream. My thoughts won't go on for too long, because I think that you guys pretty much have a good idea on what I'm thinking and when I think they're going to release, but I'm still going to go into it, and then I'm going to leave the rest up to you guys to see where the stream goes and see what you guys think about these uniforms. So let me welcome some of you guys in that we got. And we got Elmo de Marshmallow, Elite 3's Call of Duty, not sure how to pronounce your name, sorry about that. Justin, Aitz, we got Elmo de Marshmallow again, Justin, and X. Some of these names are hard to pronounce, so I'm sorry if I butchered that. And I'm going to read into some of these comments, and then we're going to get started on the stream with these Rams new uniforms. So, what's up? We got hi, hello here. We need them gold uniforms. That would actually be pretty cool. And I know with the Rams, they're always a team trying to start something new, so I'm definitely not seeing that being completely off the map for sure. I feel like there's always something on the table with the Rams that they want to reintroduce or introduce and make up. So that's not off the table for sure. Then I want to see all black uniform with yellow numbers fading into blue with a blue outline. That would actually be kind of sick. And I know a lot of people want that black uniform direction. They want to see that, and I'm just all forward to seeing these things come out soon, because you know we've been hyped up for them. So, and then we see, I just want those black uniforms. They should be black and gold, not expecting much. Okay, so we have a lot of blacks in here. So I'm going to give my perspective on what I think. I'm thinking, like I mentioned in streams past, the Rams are going to be releasing these uniforms. In my opinion, they're going to be releasing them at SoFi. They're going to make it an event for people to come to, because it seems like a lot of the times that's what the Rams like to do. They like to not really make as much money as they can, but they like to make sure to, I guess, invest and make sure people are going to be spending money for different events. I believe that's the direction the Rams wanted to go last year before the whole world turned upside down. I think that they wanted to do it live in person at SoFi to kick off the whole rebrand and everything. Same with the logo, but then we all saw where that went. So I'm expecting it to be, the location would be at SoFi, and you're going to be able to watch it live. They're going to be coming, walking out with them, modeling them off, walking back and forth on the stage. That just seems very Rams, seems very LA, and of course that's what they're thinking on doing last year and planning on doing last year before everything happened. So definitely going to be live at SoFi, I believe. They're going to be showcasing them in front of all of them. It's going to be on the Oculus. It's going to be, I think, a really fun time for people who live in LA. I think there's going to be some perks to the season ticket members and season ticket holders, because that's what they also like to, I guess they like to use that as something to give them perks to. So definitely going to be at SoFi, I think. As far as when, I'm not expecting it to be this month. I mean, they could, But again, like last year, the Rams were kind of alluding to it happening sooner. They're also telling you, or they're telling us with different hints that it's coming, you know, like they were getting it all hyped up because obviously theirs was the last of the off season, and right now it's still like not a thing. It's just all set on OTAs, on their media and stuff like that. So not expecting it to be released in June. I'm definitely not expecting that. And then I'm expecting it to be July or August. I'd say August at the latest because obviously we got preseason, and I mean, we could see it happen the week before the opening night, or that would actually be kind of sick if we opened off with the first game of the NFL season, the Rams season, Sunday night with the new alternates. Like, imagine how cool that would be. I mean, obviously we would be in suspense, but just to see them walking out of the tunnel for the first time, we get to see them demonstrating on the field. I could definitely see the Rams doing that because again, they're all for trying out new things. But I definitely think it's going to be at SoFi. It's going to be an event. I'm thinking it's going to be sometime in July, or again at the latest, I could see it the first week of August. That's the very latest. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams did it where opening day they did that. Like, I'm kind of liking that idea. I feel like that's something they would do. But I'm going to stick with my first original idea that I think the Rams are going to do it at SoFi. And my ideas on these uniforms, I fully expect between, or before the Rams finish with all their uniforms, I know they want to release one every year. I fully expect the Rams to release an all yellow with blue numbers. That's just what I think. I think that's what the Rams liked. I know that it was a fan favorite with those color rushes that we used to have before we switched and did all that rebrand. I know that would be sick for me. I know the fans love that. I definitely could see that happening. And so I feel like definitely before they're done making new ones, new alternates and stuff like that, I would love to see that. I know a lot of fans are pulling for the black with the yellow. I've seen that a lot in the chat already. So we could see some of that, and we could see a white, not a bone, just a white with blue numbers without like a fade or anything like that. I think it would just be white. That's like the least one to me that I think they would do, because I think that alternates, the cool thing about alternates is they're exciting. Like, they're cool, they're out there, they're different, and I feel like that's what happens. And so I'm not sure where they're gonna go to, but those are my top three. I think white with the blue numbers. I could see all yellow with the blue numbers, which is my personal favorite. I could definitely see that black. It's kind of harder for me to picture the Rams going for a black because I've seen this a lot in the comments too. If the Rams did black with yellow numbers, a lot of people think of Steelers, and I don't think the Rams want to make it look that way, so they may go for more of a gold type of look. So I'm not sure, but again, I would fully expect the Rams just to go completely different. Like, that's what the Rams did when they released them last year. They like to start new trends, or at least try to, and I think my personal favorite is definitely that yellow with the blue numbers. I think that's my favorite of what they would choose, and that's my favorite for what I think they're going to do. Because, again, if you did release a white, like, it's just weird to have the bone as your away and a white as your alternate. It just seems like, if anything, it would be mixed or switched. But I feel like the alternates are always the indifferent uniforms. They're always different than what your team is usually going for. They're different than a traditional style home or away, obviously, so they have to be cool. So that's where I could see the black slipping in there and them using a black, because I know that a lot of fans want that. And if they listen to their fans, I think they would definitely roll that out. But again, my personal favorite is the yellow. I told you guys, I'm not going to be talking a whole lot about when I think it is, what I think it is, whatever, because you guys know my thoughts. I want to leave the stream all the way up to you guys and what you guys are saying. So let us read into these comments, because I see a lot of them coming in. Your thoughts on uniforms from last year, because a lot of people were unhappy because they look a lot like the Chargers. Yeah, I actually did make some videos. It's a good question. I made some videos last year going around that when they released them. I was a fan of them. I think I was again, I have video proof. Yes, it's cringy. Yes, they were bad videos, but I have video proof that I liked the uniforms. I especially liked the helmet, and after I saw them, I did that crude helmet, like wooden helmet thing where I kind of messed up the horns. I loved the helmets. That was like my favorite part, because I think the blue they went to was a really nice blue. I think it's really cool, especially now that we've seen it on TV, how it pops off the field. I think that that's a really cool element, and it is really LA that they chose that type of blue in the really bright yellow. I don't see the Chargers much in that. And the Rams could have very well been planning on releasing them ahead of the Chargers. They could have had the ideas already before the Chargers, then the Chargers dropped it, and the Rams were like, hey, I didn't know, like, I don't think they had any idea what the Chargers were doing. But when you're both in LA, obviously you have to try to be different. You have to try to make yours look different. But I think that the LA style, since it's so easy to identify, both teams wanted to do that. So I think that's why people always think like they kind of look like that. But in my opinion, I'm a fan of the uniforms. The one thing I do say that I don't like about them is definitely the patch. Like, I don't really like the patch that much that they put on there. I mean, hey, as long as they're winning, I like the Rams. I like what they're doing. It doesn't matter what they're wearing. But if I had to draw one thing that I don't like about it, it's definitely the patch. And I know a lot of fans don't like the divided horn or anything like that. I don't personally mind it as long as they kept the horn. Like, if they just did, imagine if they did the helmet with just the LA logo. I would not like that. And I think these uniforms could have gotten and went a lot worse and in a worse direction. And I'm just glad what we got. So it's a great question there. When are the Raiders' new uniforms? I don't know if they're actually getting them. Sometime this year, we are expecting gold, yellow uniforms with blue numbers and designs. Yeah, Jared, that's what I'm expecting. I think the yellow or the gold uniforms. I always assume when people say gold, they're meaning like the bright yellow, not like the gold like we had in the St. Louis days on the horns. What's up, Sanity Games? And so, whenever I hear people say gold, I'm like, are you meaning like the really bright yellow, kind of like the soul? Or are you actually meaning like the St. Louis gold bronze colors? But yeah, definitely expecting that yellow, all yellow with blue numbers for sure. It to be released at SoFi Stadium and sometime in July, if not first week of August. Is it just me, or does the place where they're doing OTAs in LA look so sick? No, definitely, Elmo DeMarshmallow, I definitely agree with you. It looks sick. And anybody who is going to the Rams open practice, let me know in the comments. You can type a 1, you can type a thumbs up or whatever, but I really would want to go there because I believe they said it was free to go there. But obviously, being in Colorado, I'm not going to fly out there to catch that, but I think it would be so sick just to go to their practice and watch it at SoFi. I'm still a Raiders fan. Can I come with you at SoFi? Yeah, I'm not going to SoFi this year as much as I would want to. I feel like it's going to be packed and it's obviously really expensive. The first NFL game I'm going to ever go to, like all the way up to this point in my life, I've never gone to an NFL game. It's going to be the Rams versus Broncos preseason game, the last week of preseason, watching the Rams play. That'll be my first game, but it'll be in the Broncos Mile High because that's where we live. So yeah, I would love to meet up with all of you guys at SoFi Stadium, but obviously I'm not going to go this year because of the prices and everything. Not sure if I'll go next year. We'll see then. The black uniforms with blue number and designs in yellow lines inside the numbers maybe next year. Oh yeah, that's a thought too. Let's see. How about navy gray uniforms with black and blue shade? I don't really, no offense to you, I would not really want to see like a navy gray. I could see a navy, but I do think that would kind of look like the Chargers, to be honest. So, what's up, X Turbo? Big fan of you. Been here since day one. Also a Rams fan. Nice to hear from you, man. It's been a while, and I love meeting the people who stayed through the channel transformation. Because again, obviously the videos were a lot worse, but I used to be like a board game channel, and the people that stayed from the board games to the all-around NFL uniform redesigns for every NFL team to just this Rams channel, I've huge respect to them because like I wouldn't have the patience to to stay through all that change. It gives you Jacksonville gradient vibes, but still love it. Yeah, let's go black to the yellow and blue. Yeah, or wait, did you say? Oh, let's go back, not let's go black. I read that wrong, but yeah, my fan favorite, the one that I would love. I would just really appreciate the Rams, and I'd actually be surprised and shocked if they didn't release this next year or this year. I would just love that all soul, yellow, blue numbers, normal helmet with the blue and the yellow horns for sure. But man, to see that, if they're doing what I expect them to do, where they release it at SoFi Stadium in front of fans live, I think that would be so cool just to see the pop of color I think that they should wear the alternates a lot if it was the yellow with the blue, and who knows? I don't know if if the NFL is still doing color rush uniforms right now, so I'm not sure like what the Rams one would be, but yeah. First subscriber, Justin. Let's see. I went to an NFL game. It was Super Bowl 54. Oh wow, that must have been fun, but it also must have been pricey. What's up, Sanity Games again? People are arguing about this, so I'm gonna ask an actual Ram fan. Was Goff carried to the Super Bowl, or Goff carried the team to the Super Bowl, or did the team just play well, or the Saints game? Okay, great question there. I don't care if it's not even about the uniforms, guys. You can ask whatever. Yeah, I know that Elmo the Marshmallow. I know that you are a Lions fan. I believe actually that's what you told me in one of the streams. But Goff in that 2018 year where they went to the Super Bowl, the team wasn't just carrying him. I believe the best way to put it, and thank you for asking me this question, being a Rams fan. I'm gonna put it as honestly as I can. The team was playing so well together. Nobody was carrying each other. No unit was really carrying each other. The whole team was gelling really well, and everybody was feeding off of each other really well. There was no one player. I can't say that the defense carried Goff. I can't say that the coaching carried Goff. I can't say any of that. I say just the whole team as a whole played completely well. Flawless, or not flawless football, but they had great communication, and Goff was a leader that year when they went to the Super Bowl. And I know I can tell you from that Cowboys game, if you didn't watch it, I know from that game, that was definitely mainly just Todd Gurley and CJ Anderson. Yes, CJ Anderson. He was fun to watch. That was mainly their show. They were running the game most of the time. The defense was very stout against the Cowboys. That's when the Cowboys were in their prime. So that game, I wouldn't say Goff was carried, but Goff, let's just say this, didn't have to do too much because the running game was working so well. It's not like they didn't trust him or anything. The running game was working well. The defense was playing so well. Like, they were stopping Zeke when he was doing really well, and they were shutting down those fourth downs multiple times. They played really well as a whole at that game. The Saints game, I can say, obviously, everybody goes back to that pass interference, but I'll get to that in a little bit. That Saints game was one definitely where it was heavily Goff carrying that team. If anybody was to carry it, I would put it that Goff was. But I still don't like the term carrying because I think the whole team was playing well together. The Rams defense at the start was not really playing its best, and it gave up like 13 opening points or 16 opening points, something like that. And then Goff and the Rams came back. It definitely was not a Todd Gurley game. That was when he was really starting to go downhill with his injury. Goff played really well in that game. He had some of the comeback drives there. He stayed focused, and it's hard to play in that building for sure. Goff, I would say Goff and the defense was a big reason for that game. They played really well as a whole, and then obviously for that Super Bowl, nobody really did well, but that's a great question because again, I know you're a Lions fan. You just want to know, because I know there's a lot of people who just make up things about Goff and what he did bad or what he did good or if he was carried or not because they don't like him anymore or whatever. I still have mad respect for Goff, and that's the way it went. So thank you for that question. Again, you don't have to ask the uniform questions. You can just ask whatever you guys want. Who do you think will make the Super Bowl? Great question there, Sanity Games. I say I'm still really high on the Rams. I think I'm going to put my Rams in there, and I'm either going to put in the Browns, the Chiefs, or the Bills for sure. I think those are my top three that I'm going to put in. I know the Chiefs just have a way of getting there every year now. It feels like they feel like the new Patriots. The Chargers could have a shot, but I think they just need a few more pieces and a little bit more experience. I want to see what Brandon Staley does there. So I definitely see those three teams, and then the Rams, which of course the Rams are going to be repping the NFC. Let's see. It took all of my money, but it's worth it. Okay, bro, see ya. I gotta go to school. See you stream. Alright, see you guys. Or see you, Justin. Let's see, Sanity Games. You live in Colorado? Yes, I do. So, the Broncos are the home team and where I live. I grew up in I didn't grow up, but I lived in St. Louis for about a year, and then we moved to Colorado. So I've been here ever since then. So that's why I'm going to the Broncos-Rams preseason game, because they only play in the preseason. Is it just me, or when you look at the Rams jerseys on the NFL shop, they look darker than the one Stafford was wearing in the photo shoot? I mean, I didn't really look too much at, I didn't see that difference too much. I think it could just be the lighting that they used for when they took the pictures to put on the shop. I'm not sure. And the Raiders. But yeah, guys, again, not going to be on here for too much longer, but I'm still going to be here for sure. But again, for people who are just joining in, I think these Rams are going to release it live at SoFi for sure. They're going to be releasing it sometime in July, and by the very latest, I think it's going to be the first week of August before preseason. I still think it would be a very Rams thing to do, to release them coming out of the tunnel for the first game of the week without us even knowing until then. I could definitely see that. But I think, yeah, it's going to be that time frame. I think it's going to be all yellow with the blue numbers and the blue stripe. Normal helmet that they got, like I have right there, back there somewhere. And I don't really see it black too much. It just doesn't... I know that the Rams like to go all over the place with what they do, and they like to try to start new things. But, again, I don't see them inserting a black, because that's just not really their colors. So, don't see that. And I wouldn't see this too much just because it doesn't seem like an alternate but white with blue numbers. Do you watch the Colorado Rams? Not really, actually. I'm a fan of the LA Rams for sure. Does Goff trust his wide receivers and throw it up? To be honest, this is not me knocking on Goff. He's never been that type of guy who trusts them and just puts it up there. Like, if you have been a Lions fan for a while and you're used to Stafford, I know that Stafford does that a lot just from, learning from you and learning from other people. But Goff has never been that type of guy. I think that you would put Goff, I don't want to use the term game manager for sure, but he's that type of guy. He kind of reminds me of Ryan Tannehill. He likes the West Coast offense where it's a dump off here, there, everywhere, like slants, stuff like that. Kind of what you were seeing the Rams doing a lot last year. I know that in his best years with the Rams, which was 2017 and 2018, that he was doing the deep ones. He was very confident to throw it down the field. He had a great deep ball for sure. And that was what was so weird about 2019 and 2020 season, the 2020 season too, was that he became very reserved with his passing game. And he didn't like to throw it deep, but that kind of makes sense because the Rams, up until this offseason, really didn't have a deep guy like Brandon Cooks like they have now, or that they got rid of, and now they got Deshaun Jackson and Tutu Atwell. He never really threw it up. Like, if it was double team or single team down the field, and he never really just threw it up and trusting his receiver, that's just not his play style. It's not on him. It's not his play style that he likes to do. And then, so he never really was known to do that. And so it's not anything to knock on him at all, for sure. But it's just, that's not his style. So he's not going to be like Stafford, where Stafford throws it up. Because again, if you've been a Lions fan a long time, at least for 3 or 4 years maybe, then you know that Stafford likes to do that. And he likes to trust his receivers. I wouldn't say Goff likes to throw it up and just let them go up and get it. Because again, that's just not his play style that he likes to do. But it's not that he can't do it, it's just I don't think he's very comfortable with doing it. So, good question there. What's up, Brian? What's up, Aaron? How you doing? But, yeah, so I want to know from you guys, and even Aaron, if you're still on here. If you guys don't know, Aaron's my brother. So, what do you think the Rams' new uniforms are going to be? Or, if anything, you can just ask me any other Rams question, NFL question. I don't care. Again, this stream is the stream that I'm doing right now. I gave my thoughts on the intro, and I'm going to keep on. If you guys were wondering why I just go, okay, so here are my thoughts on the uniforms again. That's for, if returning viewers come like this, Rams are going to release new uniforms at SoFi. They're going to be, I believe it's going to be sometime in July, first week of August. I could see it in the opening game, too, if they released them that way. I believe they're going to be yellow with blue numbers, my personal favorite. It's going to be, it could be black, but I don't see that. And it could be white with blue numbers. So whenever you hear me say that, just throughout the stream, that's for people coming in who are expecting to hear that. So that's why I'm just, just randomly saying that. Why do NFC West teams always have more primetime games? To be honest, I think at least right now in the last like 4 seasons, this NFC West has been loaded and it just keeps getting better. And anytime you have a team like Seattle, if they still have Russell Wilson at any time, they're going to be a dangerous team. And it always comes down to close games, whatever they play. And they're just cool games to watch. I think when the 49ers are on, just an amazing defense. They're an up-and-coming team now with Trey Lance. And then the Rams, obviously, you know what the Rams look like. They got some weapons now that we got Stafford. We're maxed out with primetime games again. The defense is great. I think you have to account a lot of the players that are on, like Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. They like to account for those. But this NFC West division has been loaded, even when there were just two good teams like the Rams and the Seahawks before the 49ers really started getting better and the Cardinals really started getting better. I think it's just the competition of it, and this division always seems to have at least one or two good teams in it. So that's a good question. What's up, Jared? Thanks for coming into the stream. See you next time. We definitely won't get black unis unless the NFL approves 2 helmet colors. It's in discussion, but not approved yet. Yeah, Ryan, that's a good point. And again, even if that helmet rule was approved, where they were able to use like a black helmet or completely not like a different helmet, I don't see the Rams doing that again. Like, besides the navy color, kind of like I'm wearing right now, that they used to have their old logos and stuff like that, there's nothing in the Rams logo that speaks black. Again, it is very Hollywood, it is very Los Angeles, it is all that, but there's nothing in there that suggests that they're going to use black. And when the when the logo dropped, a lot of people did expect what actually was happening with that logo, the horns, stuff like that, the colors, and the logo. When we saw the logo release first, the uniforms release like 2 months after, it does really reflect the logo. And so I don't see anything in the logo that is speaking black. And again, that helmet rule that you brought up, Ryan, is a really good point too. But nothing in that is speaking Rams. Sure, it could be speaking LA, but I do see the Chargers being more the team that could do that. But I have a question for you guys, because I don't know if anybody knows the answer to this. Maybe you do, Ryan. I'm always confused because I haven't looked too much into that NFL like helmet rule thing. But I'm pretty sure it's like saying like you can't have 2 different color helmets or 2 different style helmets or something. But I'm confused because in 2017 and 2018 the Rams were wearing the blue, like dark navy helmets with the yellow stripes, and then the dark navy helmets with the white stripes. Like, can you have a different sticker? Or I'm just confused on that helmet rule a bit. Didn't Robert Woods have most catches in the league 1 year or something? I don't know. I don't think he did. I think it's always one of those really top names. Not to say Robert Woods is bad or anything. Obviously, I really like him. He can do everything really well, but I don't recall, at least, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't recall Robert Woods having the league leader in catches. How will the Rams O-line perform with a new O-line coach? I think they're going to perform well. And the guy that they brought in from Stanford, I believe it was, he, I believe, is going to make a big impact on that offensive line. And I think a lot of people are downplaying and lowballing what the offensive line is going to do. But I think the offensive line has really good potential. I think that they can do really well because some of these guys who have been learning for years, like Joseph Noteboom, guys like that, I think that this is their chance. They've been able to still learn for years under great guys like Andrew Whitworth, an amazing guy, amazing human, and amazing guy to be able to learn under, obviously amazing football player. And then there was Roger Saffold and the guys like that. And you get to learn under some good guys, and even if you just learn for a few years, that offensive line will do well. And I think that the coach that they brought in for that offensive line spot, I think he's going to be really good, which is really what was surprising me when the Rams didn't bring in Creed Humphrey when he was there, because he was from Stanford and that would fit what that offensive line coach brings. But I think that he's going to do well. He's going to have a positive impact. And I think a big thing that you guys have to take into account is that these young guys are ready to play. They've been learning, and I think they're ready to produce with these Rams. So I'm expecting a lot out of them, and I think that coach is going to bring the best out of them. The Lions have 2 different helmets. One are classic ones, or whatever we don't have the Lions logo on. Yeah, that's what I'm confused on. I don't know if it's just the helmet color you can't change, like maybe the decal you can change or have off or whatever. Yes, you can have 2 different stickers, but you can currently only use one main color. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Ryan. I thought that you would know the answer to that question because you brought up the helmet rule. I appreciate it. Isn't Mitchell Schwartz still in free agency? Yes, he is. I believe he is. He hasn't signed with anybody to my knowledge yet. But yeah, he's still in free agency. But I would not look to the Rams signing him. I think they're really confident in what they got. You watch Nick Foles get the job over Fields and Dalton. Yeah, Fields is still there, but to my knowledge, I know that Matt Nagy for sure is just he doesn't like Foles that much, especially after what happened last year. So that would be hilarious if that happened, but definitely not seeing it happening. And again, like I said to you guys, for new viewers coming in here, I believe Rams new uniforms will come out in July sometime. It could be first week of August. It could be in the first home game against the Bears. Any of those dates, July, first week of August, or the first home game, they could release the new uniforms. I expect all yellow, blue numbers, blue stripe, my favorite ones, same helmet, or black uniforms. I don't really see what fans are getting at that because that's just not the Rams color, or in all white with blue numbers, kind of like the bone. That's right, Ryan, hit the like button. Why does the season feel like it's so close? I know, that's what I keep on thinking, like, when I'm looking at the OTA highlights and stuff like that, I keep thinking it's a lot closer, but it's not really. But hey, we get to get preseason kind of soon, like, kind of-ish. But we also got to enjoy summer. That's the hard thing, like, there's always a conflict. Like, I want the September to come. September can't come soon enough. Then I'm like, I should just enjoy this nice weather in summertime. Let's see. I think we could see new unis drop at training camp if fans are allowed. That would be an interesting thing. Just the thing for me about that, Ryan, I feel like the Rams want to release it in front of like a big crowd. Again, at SoFi Stadium. That's what they wanted to do last year. And I think that's the cool thing is if you get to see it first off in person in the building they're going to be playing in the lighting and stuff like that, I think that helps fans get a better gauge on what it's going to look like. Because I know that last year, a lot of fans really didn't like the uniforms. Some fans still don't, but a lot of fans didn't like the uniforms right off the bat when they saw them and when it was just pictures of them. But when they got on the field and played a full season, fans were like, oh, okay, I can roll with this. I like this. And, you know, that's what the Rams are planning on. So, yeah, it could be at training camp, but I do think they could do it at their own building because it gets you better acclimated to what it could look like. Let's see. How do they man, I cannot read. How do they decide who gets the primetime games? I wanted the Rams at Lions 8:30 on Thanksgiving or just a primetime. Yeah, that's what kind of surprised me about that because I wanted Rams and Lions as well on primetime. I was actually expecting it to be primetime. I was even thinking it could be Rams Lions week 1. But I think what their idea, at least with putting the Rams and Lions in week 7, I think they wanted to do that simply because they wanted the teams to be able to, okay, let's get acclimated, let's get gelling for the first like half of the season. All right, now let's play them because you want these two teams to play when they're at their best and when they've kind of, I guess, gotten half the season down to get to know how the team operates and stuff like that. So definitely, I think they put it that late, but I was very surprised Rams and Lions was not a primetime game because I think that would be cool. Like the trade taking place, Michael Brockers being there with you guys now, Aubrey Pleasant, and guys like that who came over from our Rams, switched over, then we got Stafford obviously from you guys. I was thinking primetime, and I honestly do think the Rams versus Bears primetime week 1, something about it, we always seem to play the Bears, and to me, the Bears games are never that exciting to watch. I don't know if it's just, I know that one game when we lost like 13-6, that was just abysmal for our performance. But even when we win, like last year, they just are always kind of like yawner games to me. So I was surprised that was the first game. I would have put definitely Tampa Bay and the Rams week 1 at SoFi primetime for sure. Or I would put the Lions, like you said. I would put the Packers. If Rodgers was still there, I'd put the Niners. I would put teams like that would be really fun to watch in the new stadium and kick it off. But to me, the Bears are always just like, I don't know, the Bears just aren't that exciting to watch. And as far as how do they decide primetime, I don't know. I think they just choose the ones they have a big group table is the way I always think of it. I think that they have a big group table deciding, okay, what games are going to be interesting, what are the storylines, what is this, and I think it just goes through a chain until they decide to schedule. And again, like I said, you guys, I'm going to be going through the uniforms every time a few new viewers come in. I think the Rams' new uniforms come out in July. It's going to be either July, sometime a week before August, or in the first game they're going to release them. It's going to be all yellow with blue, my personal favorite, and then all white with blue or a black, but I don't really see the black happening. Let's see. Only way you lose to the Bears week 1 is if someone drops the catch. I don't think we're gonna lose to the Bears by any stretch of the imagination. I got a question for you though. I'm just gonna call you Elmo, not whatever. But how do you think the Lions are gonna perform this season, and what are you expecting out of Goff? I'm just curious to see what Lions fans are thinking. Robert, no white jersey? No, I think there's gonna be. That's a possibility for the alternate. I think it's gonna be white with the blue numbers. I believe I mentioned that, and then yellow with the blue numbers, or black with the yellow numbers. So yeah, I could see a white jersey. But it's still, again, hard for me to imagine the Rams going with a black uniform. Like, I don't know. Will the Rams operate more out of shotgun or under center with Stafford being a QB? That's a very solid question, man. I'm glad that I got a question like that, because I always love those ones that you have to think about and that you haven't even been thinking about. I think we could see a lot of shotgun with Stafford because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong with this, Elmo, because I know that you're a Lions fan, I believe Stafford did operate a lot out of the shotgun when he was with the Lions, so I don't think the play action is going to completely disappear, but what Sean McVay's been talking about is that he likes to adopt what Stafford has been having success with and what Stafford likes when he's talking to him, and some of the things that he liked to run with Detroit, some of the plays he likes to run, the concepts, and some of that definitely is shotgun. So I do think for sure we're going to see more shotgun in this Rams offense with Stafford, but the play action and being under center is still going to be there because that's just like the lifeblood of how this Rams offense engineers. It's just like the running backs to the engineer and the jet sweep stuff. Fake jet sweeps is the engineer to that offense. Well, I mean, Sean McVay is, but that's like the engine running it. So good question there. Ryan says soul and blues for the first drop. Yeah, I definitely like that for sure, because I don't know if I'm the only one who really wants an all soul uniform with blue numbers, because when they dropped that color rush for the Rams when it was yellow, with their old design of like uniforms and numbers and stuff like that, I was in love with it, and I still am. I always loved when I saw them wearing it. I think the worst game when I saw them wearing that color rush uniform was against the Ravens, and we all know how that one ended. But yeah, I'm all for that uniform, definitely. And I think blue unis with white numbers and white horns next year. Oh, that's a nice idea, because yeah, it follows that rule with the sticker changing but not the helmet changing. And yeah, I never really thought of that. Actually, I think I did see online when I was looking for like leaks or anything suggesting new Rams uniforms, I did see a uniform that looked like that, similar to that with the white horns and the white numbers and then the blue base. And that would actually be kind of cool because they do still have some white in their logo too. I think they're going to wait on that white jersey to see if the NFL allows the helmets. If they approve it, then I think they'll go blue and white. Oh yeah, that's an idea too, for sure. Okay, so here we go. We're hearing from our Lions fans here about Goff and stuff. If we had better wide receivers, I could say a little better. With these wide receivers, Goff got to be accurate a lot. I'm expecting 4 to 7 wins, especially with the run game and improving defense. See, what I like about you, Elmo, and you being a Lions fan is that you are not being completely unrealistic. You're always being civil and stuff like all these other people are being, and respectful about it in your opinions on Goff. And I like how you're being realistic about what Goff can do. I think 4 to 7 wins is definitely in the window of what Goff can do. And I do think that the Lions were very smart in drafting Penei Sewell and upgrading the offensive line, upgrading that defense, getting stout in the trenches, because the trenches do matter a lot. And yeah, Goff, I definitely think that he definitely has to be a little bit more accurate and a tighter spiral than he was with the Rams. But again, Goff with the chip on his shoulder, he does really good. Okay, baseball 16. What did you miss? Okay, so this is perfect. My thoughts on these uniforms is I think it's going to come at SoFi. They're going to reveal it at SoFi, making an event for fans to come in and watch like they wanted to do last year. It is going to be somewhere between anywhere in July or anywhere in the first week of August, or like I suggested earlier, this would be a very Rams thing to reveal them in the first game against the Bears without any notice, just be wearing them and come out of the tunnel. Like, I think that would be sick to see for sure. And then I expect an all yellow uniform, my personal favorite, or I guess all soul with blue numbers. Same helmet that they got. A black one definitely could be in there, but that's not their colors. And then an all white blue numbers, and then the normal helmet. And what another fan who suggested was having a all royal blue and then white numbers, white horns, same like blue base helmet. So that's what you missed. And again, baseball 16, this stream, I already laid down my thoughts and stuff, but I'm leaving it up to the viewers to ask questions, whatever questions you want to have. I'm letting you guys take the wheel on where you want the stream to go. It's the people above 30 that don't like the bright new colors. Yeah, that's true. And there are always some people that I can tell like are older, and like, of course you gotta respect the guy, like the horns and stuff like that. But there's a lot of people in my comments that are like, come on, and there's a specific one that always comes back to say this. They're always like, come on, get rid of that split in the horn, go back to the old stuff. Like, there's definitely still people who are obstinate and want the old uniforms. I liked the old for sure, but I'm going to rock with the Rams whatever they do. So whatever they wear, I just want them to win a Super Bowl. I want them to have success for sure. But there are definitely some people, like the older types of people, who want them to go back. They don't like the bright colors. And I can definitely see that because you want to honor what they had before. But again, I'm just glad the Rams did not lose the horn. They didn't just put the LA logo sticker on helmet. That's for sure. Why would they do that? That's stupid. If they didn't tell us and announce it, how would they get the money? Well, yeah, that's for sure. I could see your point, Elmo. Definitely on the Rams. I believe you're mentioning like the Rams releasing it in the first game. They could do something like that where they announce it like if you want a better view of it first game. That's just an idea I tossed out there. I do think for me it would be cool and like shocking to see. I feel like a lot of people would be more gravitated on the uniforms than the actual game, but I think it would actually be kind of a Rams thing to do where they just release it unnoticed. But I do think obviously the main thing they're going to do is release it at SoFi. You're going to have to pay. You're going to have to watch it. But to watch it live with the Oculus, I think it's going to be something like a dark theme where all the lights are off and it shines to show them. I think that's definitely where they're going, but it was just an idea I tossed out there about them doing it live with their first game without any notice. But it was kind of like a joke thing. Just kidding about the LA on the helmet. You can't mess with the horn. Well, more than they messed with the horn last year. Yeah, I agree with you, Johnny. I think that these uniforms definitely could have gone a lot worse than fans are expecting or are thinking, I guess. I think they could have gone really, really, really poorly, especially with the logo that a lot of people didn't like, including myself when it came out. But again, as long as they're winning and as long as they stay true to the horn and don't get rid of it. Imagine if they just had a 1/4 horn on the helmet at 1 year. Yeah, that would not be good with the fans especially. But again, I'm always going to rock with these Rams. Can't wait to see what these alternates look like. What do you feel about Jalen Ramsey and Darnell Mooney beef? Oh, yeah. I think it is funny how Jalen Ramsey took to his social media like he likes to do, talking about shutting down the Bears' second receiver, stuff like that, and breaking people's hearts. I always think it's funny when I hear that from him because it's like, that's just Jalen Ramsey in a nutshell. But, yeah, I do think that Bears fans, I don't know if there's any in here, I know Schwartz is a Bears fan, but Bears fans definitely get overconfident and always are blurting that out. Like, Ramsey he got burned by him. I didn't see that. I definitely did see it, like one or two routes where Mooney definitely beat him, and if Foles just put it on target, that would have been a touchdown. I can see that, but I think they just say it in your face all the time, like Ramsey was being destroyed all game, but he wasn't. So that's my thought on that. I saw a tweet from Tate saying they're making space for me. The like, are you saying he was talking about the Lions, the Rams, or like that's interesting though? A while ago. The horn pops in person though in the sun. You'll dig it at a preseason game you're going to. Oh yeah, and I think that for sure, Johnny. I don't know if you went to a game or anything like that. I was already a fan of the horns. I was already, or I guess I shouldn't say fan of the horns, but I was a fan of the helmet that they went with. I think the colors they chose are so cool, and I think that with the pictures that I'm seeing and stuff, the pictures that they posted after the game, and just how it looks on TV, it's just like the lights reflect off of it. It definitely is really pleasing to the eye, at least in my opinion. And hopefully the Denver game that I go to against the Broncos, hopefully it's not a gloomy day, but and what they're saying is it pops out in any place. So I'm just hyped to go to my first NFL game, honestly, my first Rams game, and I know it's not going to be the starters or anything like that. We may see a few of them here and there, but I'm still hyped just to be able to go to a Rams game, because that was unheard of for me, because, you know, the prices and stuff like that. I love the old horns and the new ones equally. I get why people are mad if we don't have the classic royal yellows, but I think the color scheme we have is now fantastic. Yeah, Ryan, I like the way you're thinking tonight and the way you're talking tonight. That's my opinion in a nutshell about the helmets. I think the color scheme's awesome. It's cool. I think it's cool what they do. I just rock with the Rams, whatever they do, but I definitely can see where former fans or people who played on them, or like I guess older generation fans, I'm not sure, can want them to go back to what they had before. I definitely can see that, but again, Ryan, I like the way you're thinking tonight, and that wraps up what I'm thinking in a nutshell about them. Let's see. You and Jake are going crazy with the lives. Love to see it. Oh yeah, I love to go. I think a lot of the times with the lives, the most fun part is just to interact and stuff like that. And I know that Jake and I are planning on collaborating. We're supposed to do it sometime this week. We could be seeing a collaboration tomorrow or Saturday, something like that. But it's coming soon to be doing it with Jake. And if a lot of you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's Jake Ellenbogen. Let's see. In all the Blues, Great Gaines looked like the kid who turned into a blueberry and Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. That's funny. Oh, that caught me off guard. Let's see. Did school end, or Baseball 16 says, did school end for you? Random question. Yes, it did. It was about a week ago or 2 weeks ago. What I hate about Goff is people think he's better because he is a winner. Yeah. Well, I'm kind of surprised because I feel like I see that from a lot of Lions fans. A lot of Lions fans pay respect to Stafford, but I'm on the same boat with you. And if you've been in the streams before, Elmo, Goff, it's not to knock on him. Even his best years with the Rams, 2017 and 2018 with the Rams, when that offense was putting up over 30 points a game, I still think Stafford's the better quarterback. I did back then. I still think it now. But I think it's just crazy to me just because he won more games. Well, yeah, guys, he won more games because he was on a better team, better coaches. I've already gone through this before. Stafford, you know what situation he was in. Not to knock your Lions, man. But, yeah, I agree with you. Actually, if you guys want to check out this kind of funny comment, I might. I've been thinking about posting it in my community, but I don't want to make fun of the guy. This guy was going on and on about how the Rams are going to be terrible with Stafford and how Stafford's not a winning quarterback because he never won games. All this stuff. I brought up my analytics. Well, Stafford never had this and that and whatever. He still is very set on his mind. So I was like, well, we'll see by September, man. Let's see. I have a Rams question. All right, that's cool, Paul. How do we feel about Matthew Stafford as a new QB, and also running the ball and getting a couple of yards and touchdowns, also making a touchdown by himself? Okay, great question there, Paul. I think you asked the right person about Stafford. I think I might be the most hyped for Matthew Stafford out of all the Rams fans. I'm the most overly optimistic Rams fan there is about Stafford. I think Stafford brings to the table, and again, every time I'm talking about Goff and Stafford comparison, I don't want to sound like I'm knocking the guy. Mad respect for that guy. Just want to get that out of the way. Stafford is a huge upgrade, though, like Michael Brocker said, and she's a level up. Stafford can fit it in some of the tightest spots. He is very aggressive, and a lot of people like that or don't like that. To me, I like that because with Goff, he was becoming very conservative. He didn't like to be aggressive. I think having an aggressive guy when you know you have the talent, that's going to be awesome. His footwork is really well, and he can move around the pocket, manipulate the defenders. I see that happening a lot on his highlights and what he can do. He can manipulate the defenders very well by looking one way, then really quickly turning, throwing it. Got a very quick release, and he's really good at reading defenses. A lot better than Goff. He a lot of the times is kind of a guy who reminds me of Rodgers, and even Rodgers attested to this himself. He can audible it really well, and he can see the defenses and change up the play and make it work really well, and that's going to work well. And being him on this team, he's going to ball out. I'm just telling you right now, all of you guys right now, he's going to ball out. He's in the MVP conversation. I'm very excited. I think you guys here have heard enough from me, all my optimism about Stafford, and I'm pretty sure Elmo can agree. He was an amazing quarterback for them. Obviously, there are downsides to every quarterback, and we'll definitely see some because everybody's human, but we'll see. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Go to a practice. That's awesome. It should be fun going to a game. Oh yeah, so do you live in LA, Johnny? That's awesome that you're gonna do practice. Lakers losing 40-16 in the second. Sheesh. Is that actually true, Elmo? Let me check that out real quick. Let's see. Lakers versus Suns. 45-18? Sheesh. What went wrong? Is LeBron out or something? I'm not a fan of the Lakers. I'm a fan of the Clippers, but that's unheard of. I'm happy for the Suns fans, but sheesh. Oh, wow. Okay. Thanks for the update, man. I did not expect that. And I'm just, as I'm sure all of you guys know, Rams are going to playoffs for sure. Yeah, definitely. If they can go with it with Stafford and a 9-finger Stafford, or with Goff, 9-finger Goff at that, and win a playoff game, they're going to go far in the playoffs. I'm saying that right now. Stafford's an upgrade. Let's see. What are you doing, YouTube? What do you think the Rams record going to be? Okay, I'm saying, again, I'm optimistic. A lot of people don't like that, but hey, that's my channel. I can be optimistic. I'm thinking 15-2 is around the best. They could go 16-1, but those divisional games, they always are tough no matter what the record. And I think Rams go 14-3, 15-2. And again, for new viewers coming in here, I think Rams' new uniforms are going to drop in July sometime. It could be August, first week. And I think that's going to be at SoFi Stadium with fans to be able to watch. It's going to be an event that you can attend to. It's going to be definitely a all yellow with blue numbers. My personal favorite for sure, blue helmet and yellow horns. It could be a white with blue numbers, and it could be a black, but I just don't see that because it's just not the Rams colors. Do you like the St. Louis Rams or the LA Rams better? Solid question there. I'm always attached to the St. Louis Rams because that's when I got to know them. Like, I was born in St. Louis, so that's why I got some St. Louis stuff here, LA Rams stuff there. I love them equally for different things. I'm not bitter on either one. I like them. That's a solid question, but I think wherever the Rams go, even if they moved to Kansas or Kentucky, I would still love them. So, yeah, good question there, but not sure if I have a preference. Let's see. I liked Goff, and I wish him the best and success unless he plays the Rams. But Stafford is a major upgrade at QB, reading defenses, pocket passing, deep passing, best Rams QB since Warner by a lot. That sums up my thoughts a lot, Johnny. Thank you for that comment there. Again, I don't like to be that type of fan that whenever a player leaves your team, you want them to do bad and you want them to do horrible. I'm not. I just want them to do horrible and they play us. No, but in all seriousness, I think Goff can do well when they give him more pieces and stuff like that. He's gonna do well. He's definitely going to succeed. I think with the Lions, if they just give him time, if they get dropped the right system in the scheme, as long as when he's playing us, he doesn't ball out, I'm good. But I wish him the best. I'm definitely not one of those fans that wants him to fail at all, because that's just not cool, guys. Johnny, you think we're gonna go 12-5? I'd be fine with that, but I definitely think we're gonna win more games. But again, I'm optimistic. I want these black jerseys. Yeah. So again, I don't think the black uniforms are coming out because it is very LA. I do think the Chargers would be the team to do that. They brought out a navy. I could see them doing a black. But it's just not in the Rams colors. I don't see black coming, but I know a lot of fans like it. Yeah, Michael Barker's apologized for that. And Stafford, I think, is a top 10 QB. He's been in the league longer than 10 years, and it all been with the Lions. Yeah, for sure. I think he's definitely going to be a top 10, and I think the world will know now what Stafford can do. And I think a lot of Lions fans are happy about that, and they're happy for Stafford for this chance to be maxed out primetime games. Like, the Rams got all the primetime games that they can literally get. They can't get any more. Stafford's going to be known even more this year. And again, he's going to ball out. So I definitely think that he's going to have a great year with the Rams, and the world's going to know it. Bye, Aaron. Let's see. It's moving too fast. 20-0. I mean, I'm all for 20-0 for sure. I live in Nevada, but have so-called hookups. That's cool. I'm mad late. You're all good, Nolan. And if you didn't catch my thoughts again, I think they're going to release it sometime in July, first week of August. It's going to be yellow, blue numbers, my favorite. White with blue numbers. And it could be black, but I don't see that. And somebody that they suggested this, I think that's a cool idea. I think it's going to be, it could also be an all royal blue with white numbers and white horns too. Optimism is fun. Yeah, for sure, Elmo. But it's not only optimism, I truly believe this too. Let's see about Rams and Lions week 7 game. I just want a high scoring game. That's one of those, yeah, definitely Elmo. I think that Rams and Lions game is going to be one of those games. I feel like it's just going to be a weird score. It doesn't mean the offenses won't be good, but I feel like it's just going to be a weird game. I don't know why, I just get that vibe. I'm definitely pumped for that. I can't wait to watch that. But I have this weird feeling like it's just going to be a weird score or something like that. But I'm looking forward to that game for sure. Let's see. Our current roster adds so many new possibilities for his staff's game. He's never faced a defense that had he's never faced a defense that had to respect the run game. I don't know if he's ever been able to run play action with any kind of success. Oh yeah, that's definitely good. I think that something that you have to know too is I actually looked it up when the last 1,000-yard rusher was that Stafford has. It was 8 years ago, guys. 2013 was the last 1,000-yard rusher. You're completely right about that, man. Stafford has a run game, and that's very crucial to any quarterback's play. I think his play action is going to get even better with the Rams. I think the fact that the coach, Sean McVay, loves play action, and Stafford's going to be able to learn and get better at it, for sure. But again, I know that McVay does really want to adopt what Stafford says he likes. He wants to listen to Stafford in some of the plays he likes and put it in there too. So, yeah, I agree with all those things. Again, I can't say it enough. Stafford's going to be great with us. Let's see. Optimism isn't bad, bro. I had the Lions winning 10 games the last 3 seasons. Yeah, it's not a bad thing at all. But again, as long as the fans aren't like, we're going 20-0 and we're going to destroy your team. I don't really like those fans. But again, you can always be optimistic. Rams 68, Lions 6. That's high scoring. Again, some of these comments you guys are putting in are just catching me off guard tonight. Let's see. Baseball 16 says, love your drawings, bro. Or drawings, man. Beautiful. Thank you so much. They take a lot of time to make, actually, but I appreciate it. I always like to make the drawings and put them in the back, stuff like that. So, with the backlash on the jerseys to this day, a lot of fans still hate them. Do you see them changing them again, or do you think they'll stick with them for a long term? It's a solid question. I like the uniform still. Again, the only drawback to me about it in the backlash I would give the Rams, if any, I never really like to give them backlash, so is the patch. That's it. But that's a good question, long term or not. I know that the Rams do kind of like to change things up every now and then, but I can see them sticking with these for a while. Let's see. Stafford runs play action a lot, kinda. He rolls out kind of far. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that with this OTA period, that's a lot of the times, I think that's what Whitworth and Kopp said it best. OTAs a lot of the times are when you get right individual, and this is your chance to be able to get better individually, not as a team. And so I know that Stafford and McVay have been talking a lot and discussing a lot as they would be, and I can just see the conversations going around like in my head right now. But I think that McVay is going to help improve that play action game for sure, because I know that the Lions didn't run a lot of play action, and some fans are saying that Stafford doesn't do it that well. But again, McVay is going to adjust to whatever Stafford wants to do and what he does best, and I know Stafford should be a good learner and be able to get better at that. I just think with the Lions, they're super inconsistent with the play calls, and they're always switching in and out of coaches and leaders and stuff like that. So I think it's going to help having a solid foundation and a good guy who's able to listen to what Stafford wants and put in what he wants, but also help him learn as a player too. Wait. You drew those? Dang, you're amazing. Yeah, I did draw them actually. They take a while for sure. I know for sure I did not draw that one and this one. Those are printed off pictures, but all the rest of them, besides the flag and yeah, those are drawn. Let's see. The Rams and Stafford are like a perfect combo, just a well-rounded and balanced team. And yeah, great way to put it there. I think that's a good thing to point out. This is a Stafford's most rounded team, most balanced team, most like, yeah, he's had guys with like Calvin Johnson, but one guy doesn't make up a whole team. Like maybe Aaron Donald could, but one guy doesn't make up a whole team. You need a lot of things to contribute. Rams have all those pieces, I believe, locked in right now, and it's a very rounded team for sure. Let's see. It's like the Chiefs, but we could have a chance. We could win against them if we play them next season or going on. Yeah, we don't play them next season, and if we did play them, that would mean we made it to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, we don't have them on our schedule. But you guys have to remember this. My personal favorite game that I've ever watched, besides maybe the Rams-Saints game in the NFC Championship, was that Chiefs and Rams game. We beat the Chiefs. We beat Mahomes. We beat them when they were really on their uprise. They're starting to get really good, and I believe both teams are like 9-0 at the time, or 8-0 or something like that. So we've already beat them, and I would love to see them beat them again, especially because if we played them next season, that would mean we're in the Super Bowl, and if we beat them next season, that means we won the Super Bowl. So I'm all for that. Stafford was once on pace for 5,000 yards in 2019. Yeah, and Stafford actually did have 5,000 yards too. He was like one of the few quarterbacks to have 5,000 yards in a passing in a season too. So yeah, he's done it already, and he was with the Lions. Let's see. Here we go. We got the Lions fan talking here again. He rolls out to the left in his play actions and throws it off his back foot. Yeah, and again, some of those mechanics and some of those things, I believe he'll get better with time with McVay and with a leader and a solid team all around him. And I can see him improving with that. But again, if Stafford's uncomfortable with play action, I could see the Rams putting it in for more, unlike bootlegs, more like the play actions, and then he just drops straight back. So I think he's going to be able to pick up things fast with the Rams. And if he's uncomfortable with it, I'm sure McVay says he likes to put the players in the best position to win, so I think he's going to do whatever he can to help Staff. Will the Rams run or pass the ball more with Stafford at QB? Great question there, and yeah, that's a question I've been thinking about a lot. I think the Rams are going to run it more than they did last year. I think a balanced attack is very expected, and it's going to be known that this team's going to want to be balanced because we want to not only protect Stafford, but we want to help with our passing game like the Rams always are about. They love to help that passing game. But I do see it with McVay. They do like to pass the ball, and McVay likes when it's working to continue to do it. It's just kind of, I guess, one of his flaws that he has is he likes to stick to something if it's working, like, and do it over and over and over again in a game. It's kind of hard for him to go to the running game, so I know that he already favors the pass game, and I think with all the weapons and with what we gave up to get Stafford, we'll see more passes, but it's definitely going to be a balanced attack as well as runs and passes. Cool side note, going on a tour at SoFi Stadium this Saturday, hitting the field, locker rooms, and exploring the stadium. So stoked. Man, Ryan, you just thought, you lost my respect. No, I'm kidding you. I'm not, you didn't lose my respect. All I have to say is I'm jealous. Like, I want to go to SoFi Stadium so bad. Let me know what you see there, what you think, and yeah, if I'd love to see pictures and stuff from that, but I know that the pictures are crazy and seeing the videos and stuff of him, but I think being there is a whole nother experience, and I'm so stoked for you, but at the same time a little bit jealous. Let's see. Cam Akers is gonna blow out this year. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to ball out too, and I think he's just gonna continue to get better and better every season he plays for sure. Let's see. Right, that's the thing. People can't name another player besides Megatron and maybe Sue. Yeah, that's the thing. I completely agree with you, Nolan. And this team is so balanced. It's gonna help Stafford, and I could talk about Stafford all day and what he's gonna do for sure. So I don't want to bore with you guys with that. Okay. That Rams-Chiefs game was my favorite game too. It was so high scoring. It was a really good game. Probably the best game of the regular season. Oh yeah, no doubt it was the best game of the regular season that year. Definitely better than the Super Bowl. Sorry to bring that back up, guys. I know we have to live through the pain sometimes, but definitely the best game of of that regular season. And I think it was cool to me because it was around the holiday season, so I know that was like right after I got back going Thanksgiving shopping with my parents and my family and stuff like that. We came back to watch the Rams game, and I know it was really close to Thanksgiving, so that there's so many different memories that I have with it. I think that the emotional roller coaster that you went through in that game, it could have given people some serious heart conditions for sure, with your heart beating and stuff like that. But it was definitely my favorite game that I've watched. Rumors in Motown is that Goff was a crybaby and McVay yelled at him on the sideline, and Goff needs confidence. Oh yeah, I definitely wouldn't go to the crybaby, but I do think that, or I do know that after that 49ers game, McVay was getting frustrated, and he a few times actually yelled at Goff, and I know for me that would, no matter if you're playing good or bad, that would rattle you inside, and when you're playing, that's what you would be thinking about. And I can definitely give Goff the credit he deserves with that. It would be hard for me to play a game when I'm getting yelled at my coach every now and then. But on the flip side, for McVay, he's probably getting frustrated because he keeps on simplifying it. His job, if those seasons continue to end the way that they have in years past with Goff, he could have lost his job. So I think it goes either way. But Goff's definitely not a crybaby, but I do, for some reason, I feel like after he got that big contract extension, I think he felt he was safe and he didn't have to work as hard as he used to and ball out as much as he used to. As weird as that sounds for sure, but I know that McVay definitely did a few times yell at Goff, and that would rattle me too. I want to see Rams and Chargers Super Bowl. Yeah, a lot of people do, and I think it definitely will happen, at least in the next 4 years for sure. Also, no offense. Why do Rams fans, wow, that scrolled fast. Also, no offense. Why do Rams fans act like they're the only ones in the stadium? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but okay. Let's see. Unless you're meaning the Chargers. Let's see. Chiefs versus Rams was the game of the decade, in my opinion. It should have been the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, for sure. And it could have been the Super Bowl. I know a lot of people are like, Saints and... oh, yeah, I actually mentioned that I would bring up that pass interference thing. But a lot of people thought that Saints and Chiefs deserved it more. But here's my take on the pass interference years later. I think that, yes, it was a pass interference. And one thing Nickell Roby-Coleman could have done, he could have just turned, intercepted the ball, or swatted it down. So I feel like either way it would have been negative, or it would have ended the way it did. But even so, even with that interception happening, the Saints had what could have been the last drive before the game was over. They could have ended the game because they got it in overtime, and Drew Brees turned it over. So it's like, yes, that did happen, but it could have gone in a few different ways. And even when it did go that way, the Saints had a chance to win the game in overtime with getting the ball, and they turned it over. So that's my favorite argument to come back against Saints fans when they bring that up. Okay. Let's see. Has a lot to do with SoCal, San Diego, and have a lot between there. I'm not sure what you mean by who there, but Nikel Roby-Coleman was the one who committed that pass interference. But again, in the comments, you guys can ask questions, or you can ask or say what the uniforms you think is going to be. Again, I think it's going to be all yellow with the blue numbers, blue stripe down the side, our helmet that we already got right now. I think that's definitely a really high possibility to have that all Soul uniform. I don't see the black in there, but again, we could see. Nolan, I went to Mexico City to watch the game. I already paid for the flight down there, and so I went anyways. Sucks that I couldn't watch it in person at least, and I got a cool story from it. Oh, that must have been the worst thing. Oh, I feel so bad for you. You bought your tickets, and yeah, because I think that when the Rams were going to play the Chiefs, it was supposed to be in Mexico City, but something with the turf went wrong, and so they had to play at the time Coliseum. But I think that way it worked out better. Like, we got better fans. There was a lot of reactions to the fires. I think that's the way it was supposed to go. I think that's the cool thing about it. Ended up working out for us. I can't wait to see Stafford go off. Same here, man. I'm hyped. I'm hyped for the season. I feel like September just cannot come soon enough. New uniforms can't come soon enough. I'm just excited to see what Stafford does for sure. We all need to thank this man for all of his work. He's putting out great vids out of his way for putting in all the effort we can. Thank you. Thank you so much, Baseball16. I always appreciate those kind of comments. Again, for me, it's just fun to talk about the Rams because, like, I don't want to bore my family about talking about them all the time. So this is my place. You guys are the guys that I can talk to about the Rams. And so I think it's definitely a hand-in-hand thing. But I appreciate it, man. In my opinion, the Saints game, we could have lost that. But at the same time, we also went to the Super Bowl. But we could have done more at the Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different ways to look at that championship game, but at the end of the day, I say Saints could have put it away in overtime. They could have even not let us come back in that game because they were leading for a long time when we came back. There were just so many different arguments, so many different things, but again, we never ended up winning the Super Bowl, and I'm sad still, but I'm kind of glad we didn't because then people would be like, oh, they bought you into the Super Bowl and you didn't really win it, stuff like that. Exactly, Breeze had opportunities to close up the shop, but didn't get it done. And I do think, yeah, I agree with you, Nolan. But I do think Saints fans and Saints just have the worst luck in the playoffs, like the Minneapolis Miracle or Minnesota Miracle. There are just so many things that just went wrong, and that no matter how good of a season they have, they always seem to crumble. Imagine if Jameis Winston was the one who got them over that. Let's see, we got our Seahawks fan in here. Yeah, it was the PI, but the pass was terrible by Breeze. If Roby-Coleman turned, would have been a pick six. I'm a Seahawks fan. Yeah, I can tell by your profile picture. I'm always appreciative for other people, other fans coming in here that aren't Rams fans too, because I like to think that people who aren't even Rams fans come in here, and that's kind of cool. But yeah, I think the Saints kind of blew it in different ways, but definitely the refs did blow that pass interference call. Roby-Coleman could have intercepted it. There's just so many different ways that could have gone. Rams house. I mean, the Chargers and the Rams both share the stadium, but it feels like there are no Chargers fans and the Rams fans own that place. And I mean, technically, well, not even technically, we do own the place and the Chargers pay rent. I know that's a comeback a lot of the times, but it's actually true. The Chargers do pay rent. The Rams own that place. But yeah, there's not too many Chargers fans. I feel like there will be a lot in like the next 10 or 20 years because I think that team's going to become a dynasty soon. Or soon in the terms of like the next 10 years because they got Herbert and that team's building up. And I definitely think more fans will come, but I like it that way where the Rams kind of like own it. Let's see. Wait, are they revealing it tonight? No, McCoy Williams, at least. I would be hyped if they did tonight, but I was just talking about my stream tonight is talking about when they're going to release what they look like, stuff like that. If you missed it, I think it's going to happen sometime July or the first week of August. It's going to be in person at SoFi where they reveal it in that stadium. Really dramatic stuff there. I think it's going to be an all-soul uniform with blue numbers, blue stripes. My personal favorite. It could be an all-white with blue. It could be a black. I don't really see that. Or all blue with white numbers and white horns. Just to get you up on that. Ruin the field for the Chiefs game. We don't need new uniforms. We have new uniforms. I love right now. I have a feeling these newer ones are going to suck. Oh yeah, Richard, if you don't really know, the new uniforms that we got last year are not going away, and I love them too. They're not going away. New alternates are just going to be like the occasion of once or twice a year that we wear them, and it's only going to be one for 2021 and one for 2022. But the ones we saw last year are still going to be our main. We're still going to wear it 89% of the time or 90% of the time. Alternates are just going to be plugged in, and there's only going to be one. So don't worry about that. We're not completely rebranding again or anything. So yeah, don't worry. Let's see. That's true. It's the Rams stadium that the Rams owner built. Chargers are renters without many fans. Screw the Chargers. Yeah, that's right. I don't know any Chargers fans, so I don't care about saying that either. Let's see. This YouTube keeps on scrolling down the comments too fast. Random question. What was your favorite halftime show in the last 4 years? Probably the one at the Eagles-Patriots game, because my brother's a Justin Timberlake fan. So that one was kind of fun to watch. So, nice random question there. Is RD top 5? I really think it is. Oh yeah, I think it's definitely top 5. It's definitely not falling out of top 10 too, so I'm still confident. I'm confident in what Raheem Morris can do. We're a very complete group with superstars and studs, so that always helps out any DC. The yellow unis wouldn't really be that bad, and I would be happy to see Stafford in the bright yellow, if it's bright. Oh yeah, I think it's going to be like the soul, that soul type of color. So yeah, I'm all for the yellow soul. Breeze usually fell apart in the playoffs. Great during the regular season and usually below average in the playoffs. Yeah, and I feel like that's true with the whole Saints team, honestly. Like, I feel like the whole team was great in the season and they all kind of fell apart. I watched from a sports bar down there with a ton of other Rams fans and Chiefs fans. And yeah, not exaggerating, well, it was a Shakira concert. Let's see, let's go Rams. Were you mad when they lost to the Jets? I was. Well, of course, I'm always mad after any Rams loss, really, and like frustrated. Of course, if you guys are like new to the channel, I like to make the pre-game predictions and then the post-game ones. Let me know if you guys want me to do a live post-game reactions, kind of like what Rams Talk does if you watch him. But yeah, I know that I did not want to make the reaction to that Jets loss, but I think the 49er ones hurt more to me. But I did see like the social media would be coming at us after that. I want to see black and yellow. Yeah, but a lot of people think of Steelers, so I don't see the Rams doing that. I'll pay $50 for Madden 22, even if it's bad. Stafford is 84 overall or above with superstar. I see what you mean. Black is an original, which I understand. I love our old throwback uniforms with the yellow and blue. The all yellow and blue, the all yellow color rush, the white with the blue horns, but I think the all black. Oh yeah, I agree with you. Let's see. I know the bar was lit. Let's see. Yellow horns and yellow numbers would look sick. We would look like Batman. I still kind of think of... I'm not sure. The yellow and the blacks just reminds me of so many different things at once. It just doesn't remind me of the Rams, but again, I'm just all for the Rams winning. Rams fans have always been chill to me, and they also argue with the 49ers. I know for me, yeah, I know that you're a Seahawks fan. For me, I always like to be respectful, and I definitely hate the 49ers, let me say that. But I love to be respectful, and I love to kind of make people's days, like in Jay in the Bay, in my example here. He is an amazing YouTuber for the 49ers. He covers them, and I love to be respectful to them and stuff like that. I never like to just argue with fans all day and stuff like that, but I don't like our divisional teams for sure. And I also don't like to argue with Niners fans, but I definitely have seen that. If Terrell Lewis and Ashawn Robinson are 100% healthy, we'll have a dangerous defense again. Yeah, I think those guys are going to be crazy next year. I definitely think Ashawn's going to be in a lot more because the media's saying he lost a lot of weight and stuff like that, which is going to help with his elusiveness. And definitely Terrell Lewis, he's got a big question mark, but he's got a lot of upside to him. I feel like the black and yellow, in my opinion, wouldn't be that good just because the blue and the blue helmets, and if not the blue helmet, where we are going to but the blue ad. Yeah, I agree with you. I still don't expect the black ones. Again, I'm all for whatever they do, but I don't expect black. I wasn't mad when we lost to the Jets. I was embarrassed. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it there. Why do people call the Rams trash for losing to the Jets? It's the NFL. Forget the record. Whoever plays better than one is going to win. Simple. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, Elmo. And never underestimate a team, no matter their record. Let's see. Really enjoy your Rams streams. Glad I found your channel. Good to hear from a positive Rams fan who is knowledgeable. Have a good night. Thank you so much, Johnny. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Niners get out of pocket, especially during rivalry week. Let's see. Yeah, that would be cool to do post-game reactions. Yeah, which I always do post-game reactions. I started that up last year. I'm just wondering if you guys want live ones. I almost destroyed my living room after the Jets lost. Oh, that's a good one. I think that's what a lot of us were feeling, though. How do you feel about the extra game in the number change? Number change is weird. I'm glad for the players, but it's going to be weird seeing the numbers being all like different. I think it's going to be weird to get acclimated to, but I'm happy for them. Extra game, I'm happy for us as fans. We get more football, but it could contribute to more injuries and stuff like that. And I think that the records just look weird, so got mixed feelings about that. Let's see. Here's our Seahawks fans. I don't like our division rivals, but I got respect for them. Yeah, for sure. I think that's a good way of putting it. I feel like the Cardinals are always like, at least right now, unless they start getting really good and like cocky and stuff like that, they've always been chill to me. Seahawks, like I know you're a Seahawks fan, they're really annoying to play because, you know, you got that man, number 3, Russell Wilson, and yes, Donald does sack him a lot, but he is frustrating to play because he can just do so many things and make plays out of nothing with even some no-name receivers sometimes. 49ers fans, and just 49ers, I just don't like them because it seems like they're always cocky and they know they've got our number pretty well too. Something I just haven't liked them, but I got respect for them. Let's see. Hey, Sean talked about changing his diet and the workout routine, etc. On the Rams YouTube channel. Yeah, I catch like every Rams YouTube video. I really like to hear the press conferences. I believe Johnny Hecker and Jody Camillus was on one today, so I still gotta catch those, but you're awesome, man. Thank you so much. How do you feel about being able to go to SoFi? I love the idea, the prospect, but I still am not able to go there. I'm pumped for other fans, and that it's gonna be full, but it's expensive. I live here in Colorado. I don't have to fly from Colorado to Los Angeles and then pay for the SoFi Stadium tickets. It's kind of expensive, so at the moment, at least for the first year, I'm not going, and I still haven't been in the building yet. I've never been in a Rams stadium ever. I know I'm going to a Broncos-Rams preseason game, but that's the Broncos stadium, my first NFL game. So, love the prospect of going to SoFi, but I still can't yet. Show the concept again. If you're meaning the uniforms, I can't show it on the live. I have made other videos if you're interested, David. But my uniform idea is all yellow with blue numbers and all white with blue numbers or black with yellow numbers. But the lead favorite for me is yellow with blue. I'm playing the Rams because of Aaron Donald. Yeah, I bet if I was against Aaron Donald, like if I liked, let's say, the Seahawks or the Cardinals, I probably would not want to play Aaron Donald either. But I'm glad he's on our squad. I have respect for every team. I don't really talk crap about them. Yeah, I don't either. I don't like to talk trash or anything like that. That's just not my type of person. I like to be positive to other people and spread joy like that to other people, no matter if they're like the NFC West stuff. I'm not really on that train of trash talking. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? How do you think the rookies will do this year? I think that there's not going to be a lot of production out of them because there are going to be some guys that are in there right away, but McVay does not like to play rookies that much, and I think that the ones that are in, they're going to do well, but there's a lot of progressing that some are going to do, so overall good, I think. Do you think we will have more fans at SoFi than we did at the Coliseum? 100%. The wildcard game was a mess. Oh yeah, I bet that was painful. But then we had a more painful game against the Packers the next week. I can't go to SoFi for the practice on June 10th, but most likely go to a game maybe late in the season, like November or December or January. Yeah, that would be sick. Do you guys know, I think that open practice thing, isn't it free to everybody, or is it free to the season ticket members? Because if I lived in Los Angeles, I would go there 100% if it was free, but I'm not sure if it's just free for the season ticket holders. I don't know. I wasn't sure how clear it was. The Coliseum looked cool. Yeah, and it had a cool environment too, but I like SoFi too. Home games against the Seahawks are a lot of fun. Their fans are respectful, but they definitely show up. Niners games are a little bit more hostile, and we run cards games, so not too many of them show up. Yeah, I agree with you, Ryan, for sure. Good, I hope I want this stadium to be roaring. Oh yeah, it's going to be roaring. It's 100 feet in the ground. They designed it specifically so it's going to be loud, and I think anything better than playing tracks, like layered tracks over the games is going to be better. Let's see. Yeah, it's free to everyone. Yeah, that's the painful thing, because I know it's free and I want to see SoFi, but then I would have to buy a plane ticket and go to Los Angeles, so... Let's see, do you think the Rams will go to the Super Bowl this year? I do. I'm very optimistic for them. It's free. They got vaccinated section in our vaccinated section first come first serve. Okay, that's cool. And kind of sad for me because I still can't go, but whenever something's free like that for a place like that and just to watch your Rams, it's so tempting. Sounds like it's free for fans in general. Okay. A lot of Lions fans book tickets to week 7. Oh, that's cool. A packed out SoFi is going to be crazy. Yeah, for sure. If we can get, I hope we can compete for the loudest stadium because right now it's the Seahawks that have it. Oh, yeah. I think them and the Chiefs. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this stream, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, engaging, stuff like that. If you want to catch my more condensed thoughts on the uniforms, I have them in separate videos, just like this one is titled. And again, if you want to catch a condensed one, organized one, I have made videos on that. I'm just going to leave the last few comments here, but I'm going to be leaving after this. Thank you, Champion Blitz. Good luck, thank you. I want to be up there, them, through that one team come to SoFi, they crumble because of the noise. Horns up, that's right. Oh yeah, you guys gotta help me do this outro. Horns up, God bless. You guys are the best, and have an amazing day.